Now it's time. Now you can say something about our man Freddie Gibbs, the king.
Yeah, first out, I'm so glad you brought that up right away. Shout out to Freddie. Long overdue, well-deserved nominee. They'll probably rap album of the year. Go get your Grammy. You and Little Rabbit and your girl are going to the Grammys. I could not be more size for you. However, unfortunately, as we already know, Nas will probably undeservingly get it, as he always seems to.
I just can't believe Nas got nominated. What is this? The 90s? Like, dude, the last time Nas was relevant, he was beefing with 50 Cent. Like, when we were kids, like that was just the hypest thing was, oh, rappers are beefing, blah blah blah. Now we have MGK and Eminem basically curb stopping MGK into another genre. Like that's
Right.
what our beef is. Like
Right,
that's what our
right. Well,
beef is today.
here's my thing, is that I mean, how many people actually listen to that album? I guarantee. How many people do you think actually sat down and fully listened to the Nas album? Because I can tell you, I listened
Oh
to that
my
Gibbs
god.
over 500 times at this point.
It's still in my saved. Like, listen, the only thing Nas has ever given me, to be honest, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, you went after an old head, you're a young head, you don't know, this. I was like, bro, shut the fuck up. I was like, I bet you $10, like back in the day, you thought the Cypress Hill Gang was probably shitty and all this shit because they were old heads too. So don't give me this shit of me shitting on Nas and all this shit. I was like, no, Nas is a good rapper. Nas. It's like if Snoop Dogg rapped today and he was obviously the whole Snoop Lion shit, and it's just like he's terrible. Like he's terrible. Like you're not good. Like there's a time where you have to say I'm hanging it up, aka Tom Brady, on fucking Sunday night. So
Couldn't agree more. And I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Rams Super Bowl contenders. If we just want to dive right in, but before we do, now listen. I think it's fair to say, since we started doing this podcast, dude, we've become pretty good friends. Fair to say, right? Become pretty solid friends over the last year and a half of doing this show. Now, we haven't had an opportunity as much. We're both busy men. Quarantine hit. We haven't had an opportunity to grab as many beers as we'd like. And as you know, Joe went sober for about 2 months. And then,
hold
recently
on, before you get into this, you always do. You always.
Dude, I'm having technical difficulties on my end, bud. You just froze.
You connect.
There you are. You're back. You were saying. I'm sorry. Before I finish my rant, go ahead. You were saying.
I was saying that we got to give the intros for the new people. Tell them who we are, Joe.
Oh, so glad that's right. It's now my duty. It is now my role. And I've been doing this great show for the last year and a half with my man, Michael the Pharaoh Shanuti, a.k.a. Nudie, a.k.a. as my pops likes to call him when I tell him I'm doing this podcast, Shinopolis, for some reason. We like it. We ride with it. And myself, Little Joe Ooh, is the Instagram name, or just as I'm known, professional work environment, Joe Doran, Mr. Joe. We are here. We are back, baby. And I am so happy to once again have you as my partner of the show. I am so happy that you do my show with me every single week. Thank you so much for that. I couldn't appreciate any more.
This is you remember how I told you this is a circus? You're turning it into a circus again. Why do you do this whole
I am fine with this show being Barton Bailey's. I have no problem with it being Little Joe Circus, kind of featuring Michael Shanuti.
No, it's not kind of. It's like I'm here to give everybody calm facts while you're over there ranting and hooting and hollering about stupid shit.
It's so funny you mentioned that word. So back to what I was saying, back to my quick story before we start today's show. So, as I was saying, went 60 days sober, got control of my drinking, just drinking on the weekends now. So I went with some of the boys, Jeff, who sits silent in the corner, went out Nudie, and some of our other mutual friends. And you are like Akron's. You get 2 beers in you, buddy. And I love you. And I will watch games with you any time of the week. You get 2 beers in you, and you are Akron's frat star of the week. I am telling you right now, there's a whole nude. He gets a little bit of alcohol in him, and the aggression comes out. Where he said, "What did you say about it?" When we got into halftime of the 1 o'clocks, it was DJ Boo.
Listen, because here's the deal, DJ.
Panic
DJ
every
Moore,
single time.
DJ
The Jaguars
Moore.
did a little bit of something. You guys won 27-3, okay? Literally almost going and chopping everybody's head off just because of what Taysom Hill was doing. And I think he might have murdered me at one point because I forgot. So sorry. I forgot that DeAndre Swift had a concussion. I think this man was about to jump across the table and break his beer over my head because I forgot DeAndre Swift had a concussion. Nude, defend yourself, elaborate with your obsession. Once you get 2 beers in you and you're Akron's frat superstar, what's going on? You were basically shouting at the bar. You thought it was an open mic night.
Zero beers to 100 beers. Whatever the Steelers do makes me angry. Doesn't matter if it's good. Doesn't matter if it's bad. They piss me off. All right. Doesn't matter if we're up 100, down 100. Listen, doesn't matter. That's what happens. Now, to your point of DJ Moore.
27-3, and you were selling at the fucking TV.
Yeah, because listen, Joe, we talked about this on the show. Can we all admit right now that the Chiefs look like the best team, even though the Steelers are undefeated? Steelers have holes. So the holes were prevalent. It showed. Like, we couldn't sack this fucker. So it's like, dude, if you can't sack Jake Luton, you can't sack Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's gone. Like, that is gone.
Defense did get 16 points, but it was still pretty frustrating afternoon.
Exactly.
In terms of the to expect.
And they slow start again and all this shit, and it just looked terrible. Anyways, that's for that. Number 2, you can't falsify. This is the same guy.
4 points, but continue.
What was the 4th? I got the DeAndre Swift. I'm going Swift, DJ Moore, and Steelers, and what else?
And then Taysom.
Oh.
We can save that for later if you want. We can save Taysom for later.
That's later. That's some. Yeah. I'm going to fuck ESPN. Number 2, you can't say DeAndre Swift. You can't say things about DeAndre Swift when you were the same guy who started Chris Carson. Like you can't just say. You got to know. You got to information check this stuff before you say it. Trust me, I know because I am left and right looking at these things. I got to make sure. I have 9 leagues. I have all these players. I know if they're out or in.
Okay. First of all, let me go backtrack on that one and defend myself here. Okay. Couple beers myself. I don't drink that often anymore. I'd also ripped 3 dabs before coming to see you all, so I was quite stoned. All my stoners out there understand
we're gonna blame the stoning
thing. Not only that, wait. Let me continue. Allow me to continue. Not only that, but I don't have DeAndre Swift in any of my leagues. I dropped him, unfortunately, at a bad time. All right, in all my 5 leagues where I am over 500, yes, I mistakenly, because I went on a late-night run with my flashlight, doing my good work, doing my hill sprints, which you clearly know nothing about, I went ahead and I did not have an opportunity before the game started to switch out Chris Carson that past Thursday night. Okay, so I made a mistake, everybody. I am willing to admit here, above 500 in all my leagues, but I'm willing to admit in 3 leagues I left Chris Carson in. But what happened in all 3 of those leagues, dude? Please tell me what happened in all 3 of those leagues.
Because then it goes into my next point. Taysom Hill. The fucking
wait, we're not there yet. We still have
You brought it up. You brought it up.
Fine.
Okay.
Go.
Keep it. All right, DJ Moore.
Dude, you got a meeting at 3:30, man.
I have to put my chips into one player every year. DJ Moore was my guy. DJ Moore had everything you wanted in a wide receiver. He still does. He showed it last week. Teddy Bridgewater is bringing this man down like a fucking iceberg in the Titanic. He is literally the best wide receiver on that fucking team. So finally, by the hands of God, we got a quarterback that can get him the ball. And now I'm pissed because Teddy Bridgewater is back and he's going to go ghost. He was a great wide receiver before Teddy. He is a great wide receiver with Teddy. He just needs Teddy to give him the football. That's why I was rooting and hollering and hooting and hollering because he's in 8 of 9 leagues that I'm in. All right. So I need this man to do good. Anyways, now to your point. Now your point. Here's your point. Here's
my point.
Why am I upset of Taysom Hill? Because this fucker is a tight end for a fucking week. And literally the week that I was going to beat a team, if he started his regular tight end, Noah Fant, I would have been fine. But he had 2 quarterbacks. And now that wasn't the only problem. The other problem was Matt Ryan over there is getting sacked left and right when you have 3 of the best fucking weapons in the NFL, one being the Hall of Famer Julio Jones, next up Calvin Ridley and Hayden Hurst. You can't get these dudes the ball. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, Jeff, who sits in the corner, literally has Julio Jones, and he was feeling.
You sit silent in the corner.
But here's the problem: quarterbacks are scored differently. So when I get 9 points from fucking Matt Ryan, I'm definitely not going to win when Taysom is getting you 25 in the tight end position, and over here Jared Cook is giving me 1 fucking point.
So, Noon, it addresses exactly what. Listen, we all make mistakes every single week. Okay,
God.
Last minute people, you're a victim of it too at one point or some other in your fantasy career, where there's a last 10-minute change before the game, or in this case, it was about 45 minutes before the game started. It happens, and then this week, where I made my mistake, I was able to make up for it with the greatest fantasy blessing of all time, as New just addressed. I mean, ESPN, thank you so much for your tech team being slow there. Thank you for not fixing the glitch in time. Nude, I still have a theory that if I took him out of all my tight end spots this week, but I still had a theory if I left him in, despite what you say, and I know that you are probably correct. You are almost 100% correct in terms of calling it. They will call it ineligible by Sunday. But there was something in my little optimistic brain. I think they already did change it, did they? But
no, they
changed the tight end quarterback thing, but I still had him in my tight end spot, and I guarantee, it would have been ineligible points wouldn't have counted, and I would have been screwed. So, but part of me still wanted to keep him in there. But that was the greatest blessing of all time. May my fantasy seasons continue. I'm still doing playoff pushes in all 5 of my leagues. So, in other words, I've given you some of the greatest pickups of the year this year. You're very, very welcome and putting you in great fantasy spot, despite we all make mistakes, and we're stronger for it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to do a Ferris wheel move. Christian McCaffrey's now out.
You kind of look like a Ferris wheel by thinking it a little bit. Yeah, kind of just puts a bum in the air. And
I've never seen beer pubes that disgusting before in my life. So, anyways, Christian McCaffrey out.
You said what? You never. They're getting close up there, maybe.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I was around children with these yesterday.
So, do we want to go straight into just a rant by me, or should we talk about?
You know what? I will bring up. So now let's get into the show. So,
anyways,
first things first, we are going to talk about Ravens, obviously, latest to deal with the COVID situation at NFL, what are we doing at this point? World in my own opinion, take your own opinion, whatever you want, but what are we doing at this point? It's obvious the rest of most of Europe's gone into lockdown. Some are even resending back because they are starting to step back finally because they're starting to see positive numbers again. I think it's eventually going to happen here. Are playoffs going to happen? Is anything going to happen? We don't know. But before we get to any of that, I present to you Michael Pharaoh Shanuti. I said Pharaoh. Excuse me. Take 2. Michael Pharaoh Shanuti rant presented by Joey's beard pubes.
Well, here's the deal. Roger Goodell is Hitler. He's a piece of shit. He deserves to be locked up. There's nothing else to say. He needs to be locked up. When you're messing with people's money, when you're messing with TV dollars, thinking you're goddamn Jesus Christ to the world.
Lives.
He's playing games out here. You tell San Francisco, you gotta play no matter what. Green Bay, you play no matter what. 3 days before, and you let Aaron Rodgers feast on the Packers or on the 49ers with the practice squad, and you do all this shit. And then all of a sudden, we're back to square one. This happened to us before. We lost our bye week because of COVID. Not to whatever, Titans, cool. That was in the whole height of everything. We were trying to figure it out. Now it's been 4 weeks of not postponing games. Now it's Thanksgiving. Now Steelers have a chance to clinch a division, clinch a playoff spot, beat the Ravens, prove their worth. It's not our fault the Ravens got COVID, blah, blah, blah. Now all of a fucking sudden, again, it happens fucking again with us. we follow the rules to a fucking T, and then all of a sudden, it's there. We're here again. I have to wait now 3 more days to watch this shit of the Ravens getting healthy. Oh, I'm Lamar. I don't know what to do. We're probably gonna miss the playoffs. This, and the thing. Fuck
You're
up.
really perfecting that voice now.
I'm fucking pissed off to the point where they just want to see us lose. It's clear as day that they want to see us lose. It's fine. I love wearing the hat. I love being the villain. Guess what? The Steelers do too. Because guess what? Nobody picked Ben to be this good. Nobody picked Tomlin to be the coach of the year again. but he should be last year because the dude took a fucking team that was
I like how you say again.
He should. But the point is, it's like, dude, what the fuck are we doing again? Because now I have to watch, no offense, the Washington football team play the Cowboys and the Texans against the Lions. Like, the only game anybody really cared about was that Sunday night game because of the implications. And here we go again with this shit. We had a mini bye set up. We have a mini bye. We would have been off Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Sorry, I was doing the way Sunny bit. Keep going.
But the implications. Yeah, they're on the boat.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you mean the implications? You're losing me when you say implications.
Implications. You keep saying these words, implications. I don't think you know what that word means. But it's just like, dude, we just got screwed out of a mini bye. We just got screwed out of our bye. Like, it literally now more than ever, we have to get this first round bye because literally we're going through the season with no break. Like, no break. Like, literally, Ben's over here about to lose. Probably he's going to have his arm falling off at one point. I think at some point somebody's going to die. Like,
it looks like it's almost fallen off a couple of times already.
It's ridiculous, dude. I don't know. I'm just so mad. I'm so pissed because of this whole shit that it's just like they're setting us up for failure once again. So, whatever.
Yeah, man. I mean, I totally get the frustration. I even texted you. I mean, I said I was looking forward to that game. That was the game I was looking forward to the most. I mean, like you said, there was so much on the line there. The undefeated team against their greatest rival who might be on the mat, who's looking like they're down right now, who's maybe the only team left that can beat them. Can they? Who knows? We might. Well, now we have to wait and find out till Sunday. It was our Thanksgiving treat. It was better than Black Friday. It was, I think, the best game on slate on Thanksgiving and since in recent memory for damn sure, dude. So yeah, it was definitely heartbreaking with that one. And what are we going to do with the playoffs at this point? I mean, it's clear he's not going to change it. I mean, it's clear again. Mr. Goodell's ready to continue to spill blood, whatever it takes. I've said many times, and I'll say again, whether it's his grandmother, whether it's his children, it does not matter. He will sacrifice whatever it takes to keep the season going. And he is literally now not even a joke anymore at this point. He's literally risking lives. I mean, those football players aren't supposed to go home to their families on tomorrow, right? They're not supposed to see their families tomorrow. They're not supposed to head back. And then those kids are going back. Some of those kids are going back to school and God knows what. So, I mean, listen, I know I'm being dramatic. I understand, but this is also, we are in a pandemic. We also have to take this seriously. And it's clear the NFL is not taking it seriously. And now everyone's following their lead, dude, is the problem too. If NFL's not canceling, let's just roll. If they're not stopping, let's just roll.
I'm just pissed. Listen, like, every team had a perfect bye. Every team had a mini bye week. Like, the Steelers did nothing wrong. Like, I'm not trying to be sadistical here. Like, and I'm not saying forfeit games and do this and do that, but it's just like, bro, what was the point of saying we'll extend practice squads and do all this shit and do all this extra nonsense if you're going to just postpone the games anyways? Just keep it as it is and then move on. Like, it just does not make sense to me. You tell one team to suck it up and you tell another team to say, oh, okay, never mind, we'll move it. It's just like, what the fuck? This goes back to the point of the GM thing. It's like, I feel like I can just do a better job. Like, I don't understand.
Right.
Like,
I mean, it's just hypocrisy at its finest for one clear goal, man, and it's profit. That's all it really is. And they're like, oh shit, when we push these games back, we start to risk it. Who wants to watch a fucking Tuesday game with the worst crew of all time? All this shit. So it's just a jumbled mess, and the NFL will do whatever it takes to keep it going. And that's why we keep watching, and that's why we watched this past Sunday, and that's why, as always, we will go ahead and we will bring you our surprise, disappointment, and game that caught our eyes this week. Nudes, I'm going to go ahead and start us off because my surprise is more of a disappointment, and we'll get right back into Taysom with you and your surprise here shortly, not to give anything away, not to bury the lead. But with that being said, my surprise this week is the Broncos. Not so much of it that was, how the Broncos played, but more so the disappointment of the Dolphins. But I couldn't make them my disappointment this week, Nude, as you know why I had to make another team my disappointment. But with that being said, this was not what I expected from this Dolphins team. Listen, I understand Broncos, pretty good defense for the most part. Not a great offense whatsoever. You let Melvin run all over you after I talked up and down about this defense. This defense proved it week in, week out against some great teams. Like we saw it against the Rams. We saw it against the Cardinals. We saw it against tough teams, right? And what happened, dude? What happened? They shit the fucking bed, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it here, what you call the classic NFL anomaly, not preparing for the team or riding on the high, and we get ahead and lose this game. That was a classic trap game. That was a game that probably a lot of people did have the Broncos to win this game. I understand it, but it was my discussion that I repeated again and again of consistency of what this is being the only team that's really shown consistency in this chaotic mess of a season that we've been talking about. And, well, welcome to the club, Dolphins. You're just as unpredictable as the rest of the bunch.
Right.
I would say still like to count this as an anomaly game, but I just can't. I simply just can't because this is a game the Dolphins should have won. Injured or not, Dolphins should have won.
Dolphins should have won. Dolphins should have won. Like, literally, like, it's crazy because you picked them to be consistent. I mean, it's fine. I mean, they looked pretty consistent. The defense looked good. And then all of a sudden, this dude named Drew Lock comes into town and beats you. Like,
Melvin Gordon comes into town and beats you. Drew Lock did the
defense.
And because Melvin Gordon's on his team, still 2 interceptions.
Let's be honest.
13 for 22.
The defense showed. The Broncos defense showed up, and they stopped to the point where they told him to sit out. This is not your game, and put Ryan Fitzpatrick in. That just goes to show. I'm just sorry. It just goes to show. It goes to show what this season has meant, and it just goes to show, like, you never know what's going to happen on week-to-week basis.
Dolphins are still a playoff contender, but that was definitely an anomaly game, but definitely one that you should have still beat that track game. You still should have won that track game. But speaking of, you should have won some fantasy games, new that you were talking about earlier. I believe we'll go ahead and go right to your surprise, buddy. As I take a potty break, YouTube viewers, don't miss me too much.
Well, okay. So my game of the week is definitely the Raiders and the Chiefs because of one reason or another. Some wacky.
I said surprise, dude. Do your surprise, motherfucker. We just did.
You surprise. Said game of the week. You said game of the week.
No, I didn't. I said, dude, give him your surprise here with Taysom is the game you should have won. Listen, you got 2 ears. Listen.
You're such a bitch.
Do your surprise, motherfucker.
Fine. You son of a bitch. All right. Well, because he's a douche, I will do the Taysom stuff. Well, it's no surprise that Taysom did very well as a tight end in fantasy leagues, but he was good as a quarterback. So it just shows that the Saints have a lot of firepower. Michael Thomas looks great. He looks great with Taysom Hill. The Saints are on fire, as well as the Bucs going down. They're going up. The defense looks good. It's pretty elite, actually. So if you keep going like this with the Saints could be one of those teams that could find a consistent groove once Drew Brees comes back. Plus, Taysom's not going away, so who cares? Yes, I lost my fantasy leagues. Fuck it. But here's the deal. Falcons are trash, so you don't have to worry about them. Carolina Panthers are trash. Joey is trash. So it's all good. But,
I was clear as day. Ask the fans. Go back and listen.
I'm gonna put this out. Review what you just said about the Denver Broncos and the Dolphins. You didn't say surprise. You said the game of the week.
I said surprise. I said now with your surprise. I did my surprise. I said Taysom. Well, you should know your surprise. Did I not mention Taysom? Did I not say surprise? Did I not just do my surprise?
First of all, it's done.
Be a professional. Listen. You got to listen to your partner. You be a professional.
Taysom did great. The Saints did great. Saints are a wagon. If they can keep consistent with what they're doing and not lose stupid games, which, in my opinion, they have a good stretch coming up. They do play. I think they still play the Chiefs at one point. So that against the Chiefs could be the Super Bowl. So be careful on that one. But all in all, I'm impressed with Taysom. I'm impressed with him as a quarterback and as a runner. And then also, I guess you could segue to, because I said the Chiefs, you can segue to, I guess we'll start with
I prefer to do disappointment than games that caught my eye, but
I will do disappointment. I'll do disappointment. Just for you, like you, I will be your parents and say, here's the disappointment. There it is. Disappointment. All right, so this is a different type of disappointment. It's not a disappointment in the sense of I'm disappointed as a team. I'm disappointed in a situation.
Sure.
When you have a rookie quarterback, you try to groom that quarterback, you make sure that quarterback does well, stuff like that. Time and time again, I see young quarterbacks go into situations where they get fucked, like absolutely fucked, and their career never comes back to life, right? Here in this situation, I don't know if it's a freak accident. I could care less. He kept getting hit and hit and hit week in, week out, and you still did nothing on the trade deadline. I'm talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. You let down one of the greatest talents we have seen at the quarterback position in college football. And then you just get crazy. You just get crazily optimistic of saying next year, next year, next year. You needed to put a lot of capital in that offensive line to keep him upright. The Chiefs didn't put Patrick Mahomes in a situation where he could get fucked. Credit to and I hate to say it. Damn it, I'm going to say it. Credit to Bill O'Brien for not for drafting Deshaun Watson, but first making sure that the offensive line was good. And credit, and you see all these different quarterbacks: Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady. Why are they playing until they're 40? Well, it's because their offensive lines were better. They're greater. They're doing good. Here's the deal. Now this kid has a torn ACL, torn MCL, structural damage. It could be it could be not next year, but the year after we see him again. And that sucks because I really thought him and Herbert and Tua would be the next three, like Ben, Rivers, and Eli Manning, where we just keep going and going and going. So it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
It's pretty disappointing, man. I mean, yeah, we haven't. It's not the first time we've seen this type of situation, especially from the Bengals. We've seen it from the Washington football team, and be determined at a later date, but probably not as well. And yeah, listen. First of all, you'd like to think that Joe would at least have it on his radar too, to maybe avoid Chase or to double up Chase. But Chase, as your roommate finally said, I'm not going to take credit for this. Walloped Joe and did it twice. Not once, but twice, and broke the man. And what else do you expect? What else do you expect when you don't have, exactly like Nude saying, when you have a D- to maybe D+ O-line at best? I mean, Joe's been getting destroyed all year. He's a tough son of a bitch. We love Joe Burrow here on the podcast, but my heart genuinely went out to Joe Burrow. I mean, yeah, it's fantastic. We actually won a game by more than won a game, and we won it by 11 points. So that was awesome. But, I mean, I couldn't feel you more on that. Heart goes out to Joe Burrow, buddy. Also, I did play it back in my head, and I'm 1,000% sure I said surprise game of the week.
It's fine. Just listen to the podcast, and you can text me.
I'll put 20 on it. I will put 20 on it right now with you.
I'm not putting 20 on it because
I know I'm right.
You're not right. But
I say it every week. I say surprise game of the week, disappointment game of the week, game that caught our eye of the week.
So do you want to go with your disappointment? You see, this is a disappointment.
You're my disappointment. You're my disappointment right now.
The biggest disappointment is doing this podcast. Continue.
You said what?
I said the biggest disappointment in my life is doing this podcast.
My disappointment, besides having that partner with Nude to do this podcast, as I should be solo host, is that was the Packers. Listen, I know I said undefeated. I was all over them. Then I was kind of off them, but I said, still they're contenders. I even said outside Super Bowl contenders last week. Packers are what they always have been. Okay? It doesn't matter who the coach is, whether it's Flores, whether it's McCarthy, they're gonna be in the second round, Nude. They'll probably win their division. They'll most likely definitely win their division at this point. But then they'll lose in the playoffs. And they're showing those colors again. They're showing exactly what they are for whatever reason. I don't understand. Maybe it's partly kind of what Lamar's going through with the big mental gap in general. Now it's slowly deteriorating. I'm looking for Aaron Rodgers. He at least got one Super Bowl, but it seems like for whatever reason, yes, you can argue, they don't put weapons around him, but I would argue he does currently have some pretty decent weapons. I just think it's the same Packers team. Listen, I understand Colts are a tough team. They're looking great this year, but this team was up 28-14 at one point during this game. They were up 28-14, Nude. They were looking Absolutely, or excuse me, 24-14 or 21. I think it was like 21-10. They were up by double digits at one point. They were up by 2 scores at one point. And you blow it. You blow it, you blow it, you blow it. And it's not the first time this year. And I understand, once again, the Colts are a pretty tough team, dude. But that literally, in terms of disappointment, I couldn't be more disappointment. This could be more definition of disappointment game of the week. I listen. I just I expect more. I continue to expect more out of this team, but then I go back and I think to 2000. Let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, and then I remember what they truly are. How dare I get ahead of myself? I apologize, face of the franchise, listeners and viewers.
Wow, there you go. I mean, it just you said it perfectly. I mean, what can we do with this whole inconsistency of the top teams? Like, literally, the Colts are a good team, correct? But you're the Green Bay Packers. And somehow this goes back to also a thing with Vegas, where Vegas picked them to be the, plus. And everybody, I think people, they wanted people to hammer the Packers somehow. I don't know what went into that mindset. But I took the Packers. I think you took the Packers too. You're like, we never bet against Aaron Rodgers as an underdog.
No, I said dog of the year, dude. Dog of the year. I will fully admit
Reputation
game. And I mean, hey, I still called the Texans. That was my dog of the week, so I did get that. But still, I mean, it just... Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head as well, man. It's just like this show doesn't like to pick against Aaron Rodgers, but it's like Vegas just sniffed it out, and it's one of those weird games where like they saw the future, where it's like sometimes you swear Vegas sees the future.
Right, and that's the thing. It's just so crazy, but man, Jesus, that's just another game where you just look at it and you're like, come on, Green Bay, what the fuck? But here's a game that caught my eye.
Hey.
But to be honest, I mean,
transition of the week.
But here's the deal: it's not like a game. I mean, like the Chiefs won, like Chiefs and Raiders was the game, but the Chiefs won. But for some reason, it just goes to show like division rivals have a leg up on other people. Like it's like when I'm just trying to think of this, like the Raiders can play against the Chiefs and do very well. I mean, they beat them. They got close to beating them again. Plus, they find a way to confuse Mahomes in ways I've never seen before.
Yep.
And it's credit to them for keeping it that close and almost winning. Yes, I mean, Derek Carr threw a game-winning interception, but it came after the fact of Patrick Mahomes throwing a wide-open touchdown to Travis Kelce. Like this, if I can find an Achilles heel on the Raiders, I think it's their secondary. But that's it. Like Derek Carr is playing good. Jacobs is playing good. The Booker relief is good. Wide receivers are surprisingly doing very well. Waller's the second best tight end behind Kelce this year. Yep. Like it's all crazy.
You said last week only reliable receiver is Kelce. Take that back because it's Waller as well.
It's Waller as well. I mean, like now it's surprising in the sense that the Raiders are a team to watch out for. Like the Dolphins. And I said it. I was like, the three teams that I wouldn't be surprised to make it, and we'd be back in the 1970s, the Dolphins, the Raiders, and the Browns.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's crazy. Like those could be the three wildcard teams in the AFC. Raiders, congratulations. Even though you didn't lose, even though you lost, but you gain a lot of people's respect. So.
Yeah, man, I think that was really well put. I couldn't really agree more with that, honestly. I mean, this team, I think, did at a certain point surprise both of us, but we should have known. You go to Vegas, and Vegas odds will be on your side. Not only that, Gruden ways are starting to pay off. Gruden is starting to look like a Gruden team after a couple of years of him reformatting it. And it's looking like Gruden bread and butter. What did I think we said last year on the show? One of the first takes, if I remember correctly, with that weird memory of mine, dude, is that I'm pretty sure we both said, and Iceberg, who's on the show at the time, went ahead and all said that Gruden needs to adapt or die. We did all say that at a certain point. And he said, no, I don't. No, I fucking don't. Look what I can do. I can continue to beat the latest and greatest trend of football team or be damn near close at a team that may be playing at the highest level, I would say, of any football team ever. And the Raiders continue to combat that. And like you're saying, yeah, the defensive packages to stop Mahomes was like, it was literally like watching, I mean, like a fucking beautiful theater, man. It was literally watching if that is what theater is, then I understand why people love theater. I understand why Broadway is Broadway, because it if that makes sense for you there, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was literally beautiful theater. It was Shakespeare. It was awesome, and everything Mahomes tried to do, Gruden was right there to adjust. Had his defense adjust right away. And who needs fucking Khalil Mack? Apparently Gruden doesn't. I mean, it was awesome to watch.
He got crucified for that trade, by the way.
So loved it. The only thing I think I might have loved more.
He deserves an apology. And the funny part is, he replaced him with a guy in the 4th round from Eastern Michigan who has 12 sacks. From last year to now. It's just like,
what's his name? It's the number
8. No, hold on. Ready? Max Crosby, 98. Max with 2 X's because he was so big as a baby. His mom was like, he doesn't deserve 1 X. He needs 2 X. And I was like,
double X.
I was like, bro, that's
so great. That is such like a Raiders. That's such a 1980s Raiders player as well.
That's a Raiders player. Yep.
That's that double X with the Max is such a like vintage Raider. I love it. I love that. I love that fun fact. What I love even more is I told you so game. The game 24 hours later that Monday was the Bucks, was the Rams. Rams once again. What did I tell you, Nude? Can you at least admit that they are Super Bowl contenders at this point? Can you say that they at least are outside Super Bowl contenders? These Los Angeles Rams. These Los Angeles Rams pulled it out.
I take back everything I said about the Rams. Here's the deal, and I apologize.
Wow. Hold on. Can we stop?
Hold on.
We are just building. I'm loving the wave right now we are on. We are on such a good camaraderie wave. It is fantastic. We started out a little contentious, and then we came right back on strong, buddy. Let's see if we can finish the show on the positive note. Knowing us, probably not, but let's ride this wave out. Keep going.
No, I'm just being honest. Like, the defense showed me a lot. The offense showed me a lot. It's just they need to keep, like we talked about, they're just another top team that needs to be consistent. Like, there is no top team other than the Chiefs that is consistent right now. Everybody has a chance, but they put themselves into that tier of good teams that they're consistent. That's it.
I would say in the year of 2020 and COVID years, not in past years, this team is starting to look consistent.
Yeah, I mean, they look better on defense. They do.
Defense is right now, and you talked about those 3 that they had, but those the 3 that they have, our ADs of the world, our Jalen's of the world, our Leonard Floyd's of the world, are all that. The rest of that defense is all gravitating to them, right? They're all learning from them, and you saw great. I mean, you saw Gronk was fucking locked down. AB was fucking locked down. I mean, it was unbelievable, and it just wasn't when Jalen was on him, man. I mean, Jalen had most of his attention on Mike all night, who had a pretty good night. The rest of that, those wide receiver options, Gronk shut down.
Right, and that's it. And that's
what was it? Third quarter, they had 8 yards, dude.
And that's right. And that's
third quarter, they had 8 yards total.
I mean, when you think of defenses, they're in the top 3. They have to be in the top 3.
Yeah, I think they just booted the Dolphins, in my opinion. They just went ahead and earned that space. I mean, it looked pretty goddamn good on Monday, and I can't believe I'm saying this. And we are all I think we are low. I mean, I said I think Rams at the beginning of the season. I did say I think they were a playoff team, and they've shown more than that. I mean, it's rare you can really judge something off Hard Knocks, but it was kind of a team where you looked and you're like. It was something that Jeff, who sits silent in the corner, said to me off air, of course, was that he said, this is the most boring season of Hard Knocks of all time. Reason being because that team was getting along. That team seemed to be on the same page all year, right? I would say the same with the Chargers, but the Chargers had some tough injuries and so on and so forth. But I would say, again, like this team is, in terms of team chemistry that you want, which I think is one of the most important things in sports, they are right there, dude.
No, I mean, listen, Seahawks might have a say in this, but
sure,
I cannot wait to see what they do against them again. And the Cardinals, they still have to play the Cardinals twice. So that division, we've said it before, it's a wagon. So
yeah, toughest division in football by far. Just like you're going to have a tough run unless you listen to us with your playoff push. We're going to get you there, Newt. I know we will, baby. Let's start them off. Well, who you got at QB this week? Who you like? Who you love?
So I'm going with Super Cam. I'm going back to the Super Cam when they're facing off against the Arizona Cardinals. I know he doesn't bring you a lot in the passing game, but the man runs the ball like a bullet. So against the Arizona Cardinals, where he has to throw, he has to run to stay up with Kyler Murray. Give me Cam all day. Give me Super Cam.
I'm gonna go with my theme, and this is the less than 50% club, or I'll call the 49% club. All should be picked up, and one of these three is hopefully available in your league. They should be, and it is either gonna be Jared Goff, somehow still available. Get him right the fuck now. Derek Carr, still somehow available. Get him right the fuck now. Or I'm gonna go ahead and stick with it. Yeah, stop disrespecting this man. You know what? This show is no longer a show that disrespects Derek Carr.
I'm upset that my deal was so bad. Somebody picked up Derek Carr, and I was going to play him this week. Now I'm stuck with Matt Ryan one more time. So fuck.
Well, who are the Falcons playing this week?
The Vegas Raiders. It would have been the Falcons. So go ahead with your running back.
Well, and then I also have Tua as well if he's still available. I understand what happened last week. Broncos are still a pretty good defense. He did get hurt, but he was still on a good run. I think that continues this week. With that being said, my running back. Listen, I want to say it. We know Billy loves himself some James White. James White seems like he's back in the mix. It is a bit of a deep league pick, okay? It is a bit of a deeper dive pick, but I think he is somebody that is going to get you touchdowns. He is somebody that's going to see at least red zone opportunities. You have Burkhead out. There's going to be Damian Lewis, White split. Put White in if you need a little help this week. Or if you don't like that, I like somebody who's going to continue to get a lot of carries and will eventually get you some touchdowns. It is a clear split back between him and Melvin with Philip Lindsay, but Drew Lock, they do not want Drew Lock to throw that football whatsoever. So I like to go ahead and I want to see Philip Lindsay this week if James White is not available.
Yeah, and for me, I'm going to go kind of the same route as you. Injuries have plagued this team, and this guy just loves him. Frank Gore is going to be my waiver pickup.
Inconvenient Truth still going, baby. At 105, Inconvenient Truth still rocking.
We saw Melvin Gordon gash the Dolphins defense. Start Frank Gore if you're in a pinch. Fuck it. He's the ageless wonder. Go for it.
And hey, you gotta love it. Division rivalry, despite Jets being the Jets and Dolphins being the Dolphins right now, that's gonna be a close game.
Right. So here's another thing. Wide receiver or running back. I mean, everybody's picking up Gus Edwards, so we didn't need to tell everybody about that.
But again, this is the not obvious pickups section. The not obvious fantasy waiver wire pickups.
So here's a guy that might have been dropped because due to bye weeks and stuff like that, and you needed the roster spot. Sterling Shepard. Guy's been peppered with targets with Daniel Jones, and also they're playing against the Cincinnati Bengals, and then they're going on to play. I think the Dallas Cowboys next. So two secondaries that do not scare you. Sterling Shepard could be a flex option, especially next week when the Panthers and the Bucs are on bye. If you have Mike Evans, Godwin, AB, DJ Moore, any of those guys, Sterling Shepard is a guy to go for the next 2 weeks.
I love that. If he's not available for whatever reason, for some reason this guy still is. And again, this is clearly this week we are heavy on the Las Vegas Raiders, not only in general but in fantasy as well. I love Nelson Aguilar here, the ignored wide receiver, the forgotten child of the Eagles, found his new home in Vegas, and has been killing it. This is your best season he's had all year. For some reason, still only 22.9% available in leagues. He's averaging about 15 points a week. I don't know how this guy hasn't been picked up by most people. I've picked him up in 3 leagues this week. Go get him right now.
Yep. And then, oh my God. Do we have to say this position?
Fucked. I am literally thinking that we should take out the fucking waiver wire pickup tight ends. Because listen, you don't even start.
I am throwing a dart. I'm throwing a dart with this one.
Throw it, buddy.
Hey, I'll throw it with Jordan Atkins from the Texans. He had 5 receptions. He looks like he's taking taking the starter role from there. Akins? Dude, who cares? If he's out there, if you need somebody, try it. I don't care. Go for it. So.
I'm going to go ahead. Let me put my blindfold on, and I'm going to remind you once again of Schulte. Logan Thomas, and of course, Robert Tonyan. If they are available, go get them right now. Good luck to you.
And then my defense is kind of a surprising one because of how bad their pass defense is, but that's not, I mean, when you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm pretty sure you're okay with their passes. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. They finally get their defense rolling with everything. And I mean, Carson Wentz, if he's starting, he is bad. So go for it.
I mean, it's a classic example that we like to use at least once a week on the show. Yes, we understand that we have probably referenced, yes, me and Nude could be in the secondary for the Seahawks, but we could also be playing quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. So yeah, go pick up the Seahawks. If not, I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, okay, the Cowboys looked decent last week against a Minnesota Vikings defense that is porous at best. Definitely not looking like they did from 16 when they were one of the best defenses in the league. Far cry from that. I want to go ahead and say, let's go get the Washington football team. This defense is electric right now. You've got to say they're at least above average. That front seven continues to look fucking dominant. We did 25-3 them. I understand it was with some guy from JMU that we all never heard of, but still, Andy, I still feel confident against Andy Dalton. I don't think he's going to put up 30 against us. He's certainly not going to win this game against us. I like the Washington football team, named to be determined at a later date, once again running a defense this week.
Right. All right, baby. It's time to do your favorite segment.
It is Week 12's Gambling Corner. And this week, we will see how fucked the lines are after the news of the Steelers and Ravens. Pulling it up right now as I got logged out of the site again. And there's a couple good, and I'll lose the voice, there's a couple good cards I like this week, Nude. It's not a bad slate. And we get, thank goodness, the greatest gift I'm thankful for of all is, of course, Thursday football. 2 Thursday games, should have been 3. We still feel robbed about that. We won't talk about it because we are in the gambling corner and we're only positive here in the gambling corner. It is the Texans going to Detroit. And literally a game that makes you physically go, is the Texans are favored here, -3. Over under is 51.5. Give me the Texans. Give me the under. What you got? Who you like, Dude?
Hit the same page.
Hit the same page. I had a feeling we were going to go right off with that. And I think we'll probably be same page with the next game here a couple hours later. It is going to be the Washington football team, named to be determined at a later date, but probably not. Going to Dallas in a classic Thanksgiving matchup. A classic Thanksgiving rivalry matchup is going to be where literally me and my brother physically have thrown hands over this game in 2012, the RG3 year, dropped 3 touchdowns in about 2 minutes in the second quarter. It was beautiful. But more importantly, the Washington football team, named to be determined later date, but probably not, is dogs here. And my dog of the week, Nude. They are dogs at +3. My dog of the week. I got money line, straight up Washington football team, named to be determined later date, but probably not here. And give me that under at 46.
Hit it. I think we're Thanksgiving same page. So thankful for that.
Thanksgiving, same page, run it up parlay special. Go ahead and eat extra turkey. Be fat and happy because we got that bankroll rolling for ye. Now, coming up on Sunday, the second to last day of good old November, Noggy Doggy, we're going to go ahead and we got the Las Vegas Raiders going to see the Atlanta Falcons. I think it's going to be another same page here because I've got Raiders -3 and I've got the over.
I really do want to take the Falcons, but yeah, I'll take. I will take Derek Carr and the boys. How they played against.
Yep. You don't have to.
I know, but if I'm preaching this, man, we're doing it. So give me that in the over.
We have been a heavy Raiders podcast so far this episode. So, all right. We're going to go ahead, go same page there again. I love it. 3 same pages in a row. It is an explosion of same pages here. It's an explosion of positive vibes. That actually makes me feel good weirdly this week. I don't know if that's a bad sign. We're going to move right along to the Arizona Cardinals and the New England Patriots. Cardinals are favored here, deservingly so. I will take the Cards, and I will take, once again, I'm feeling the overs this week, and I'm very nervous. We might be same page here again, but I'm taking the Cardinals. I am taking the over at 50. Cardinals are -2.5. You want to do it, dude? You want to switch it up?
I'll do this. I do want the Cardinals to win, but I will take the under. I think it's going to be a surprisingly not a shootout game. I'm going to take the under.
And nothing else? You got to take something here with
our record. Cardinals.
Oh, you said you want them to win. So Cardinals, though. Not the points, just money line Cardinals.
Yeah. Cardinals, but I'm parlaying it with the under because I feel like people are going to take the over. Sharp money will say the over. So.
Okay. So we are the first different page there. Thank goodness gracious. You're fire. I was nervous for a little bit. Next up, we got the New York Giants going to see the Cincinnati Bengals in America's Game of the Week. I've got the Giants money line here in the under, I guess. Who cares?
I'm going the same page. I don't know. You can't pick these games you can't, these games are just the same page. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an obvious card this week. I mean, we could be, again, very blaringly wrong. I didn't say the over-under, by the way. It is 43. Take the under still.
Doesn't matter.
Don't take the points with the Giants.
Ryan Finley or whatever his name is. Yeah, I'm good. Give me the under.
Oh, wait, you know what? That's right. I did forget their quarterback, who their backup quarterback was for a moment. Give me the points with the Giants. -6. Give me the under.
There you go.
We're going to go ahead. And honestly, probably the game of the week, in my opinion, besides the game that did get postponed, which we'll get here shortly if they do have lines for it yet. If not, we'll just kind of go and do our own thing with there at the end. But now let's focus on the Titans and the Colts. Tennessee coming to Indianapolis, +3. Titans are dogs here. So once again, Colts are starting to get heavily favored. Vegas loves the Colts. I'm still not ready to ride it. I'm going to go ahead, and my dog of the week is going to be the... Fuck you too! Damn it! All right, this is scary. This is not good.
No. I'm gonna take the Colts. Fuck it.
You're taking the Colts then?
I'm taking the Colts then.
It's my dog of the week. Yeah, you can't be on my dog of the week.
Colts. Just to be happy. For us to be
over under 51.5. What are you taking there?
Under.
All right, I'll go ahead and take the over then.
Okay, there you go.
There. All right, beautiful. All right,
I just wanted to allow
one more on the same page at this point.
I wanted on the record that I did want Titans, but for the sake of the show, I will pick the Colts.
I appreciate that, buddy, and I can't wait to throw a ball in your nuts. With that being said,
you give me one then later. I hope you give me one later, and I will pick it.
You know I'm a kind soul. And actually,
go ahead.
This next one coming up, I'm a little curious how we're gonna run here. I feel pretty good about this one. Los Angeles Chargers going to see the Buffalo Bills in a division rivalry matchup. Over-unders 53.5. Nude, who you got, who you like. +5.5 too, by the way. Chargers, obviously.
Yeah, I figured the Chargers. All right, you know what? Give me the Chargers and the over.
Chargers money line?
Yeah. No. Chargers and points. Of course. No. Chargers and points.
I will go ahead and I will take the Chargers straight up money line and the over just to be different there. I really wanted to take the points, but again, I gave you one, Nude, and I'm going to take the money line because I kind of like it too. Does that work for you?
What?
I said I'm taking Chargers straight up money line. Does that work for you?
Oh, there you go. That's fine. That works for me.
That's the one I gave you. All right, because I wanted to take the points there. All right, Dolphins, and that's just a smart play. So, but I like the ballsy play too. With that being said, we got and what used to be a dumpster fire game, but now, that might be a good one. You might shake your head at me, but Miami Dolphins going to see the New York Jets in what could be the dirtiest city of all time. What? Oops, sorry. With that being said, Miami Dolphins are -7, and the Jets and the over-under total here, if I can talk here at the end of the show, is over-under is 44.5. Nude, who you got, who you like?
What was the line again? Sorry.
No worries. It's the Dolphins are favored by 7, and the over-under is 44.5.
Man, I really want to take the Jets because I really want this to be the game that they win. I'm going to go with shit. Is Joe Flacco starting?
Yeah, he is, baby.
Give me the Jets +7 and over. Damn it.
Oh, God.
I said +7. So I'm not saying they're going to win. I said they're going to keep it close. They're going to be that frisky team trying to get a win. So give me that. They're going to try every trick in the book.
And it's not going to work. Give me the Dolphins. Give me the under. I'll take the Dolphins in the points. Go a little opposite there. I think we're going to end on pretty strong opposites here. Let's go ahead. We got 5 games left total. Next up is the New Orleans Saints versus the Denver Broncos. Saints are obviously favored here at -6, over under 43.5. Newt said over. Do you like overs?
Saints.
Newt and Joe on the same page, moving right along on that one. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go San Francisco 49ers, going to visit the Los Angeles Rams. The 49ers Rams are dogs here at 49ers are dogs here +7. Over under is 44.5.
What website are you looking for? Give me that website.
Alternative lines, baby. No, but then, once again, this is going to be a Newt and Joe on the same page. We'll move right along. Again, pretty obvious card this week. I think we now have 6 on Newt and Joe's on the same page. We're going to try to be opposites here, and I think we will be on the last couple for sure, actually. Oh, maybe not this next one. Kansas City Chiefs going to Tampa Bay. Take that back. That is the dirtiest city probably right now. With that being said, the Chiefs obviously favored here, -3.5. Over under 56.5. Do you like overs? Give me the over. Give me the Chiefs. I'm guessing we're on the same page.
Moving right along.
And I'm going to go ahead. We're going to honk the horn. We're going to do the horn, cue the horn here a little bit early because we're going to do that other game last. So go ahead, cue your horn for Monday night.
Oh, is it really? Wait, where's the Sunday night game?
I said we're
in Green Bay.
Don't have that line yet on this site. Why don't you do that?
Christ.
Hey.
All right, hold on.
Talk to the ex-bookie, not me.
Who's the bookie? Jesus.
It was the bookie I was using for a while. Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
All right, so it's over under 45, and then Packers -8.5. Give me Packers and over.
Give me
Green Bay.
And Green, give me Packers on bounce back game. Give me what's the over under?
45, dude. That's so low.
Same page again. All right, go ahead, cue your horns.
All right.
Beautiful. Loved it. It's going to be the Seattle Seahawks going to see the Philadelphia Eagles, and what is arguably the worst team in football except for the Jets, but who counts them? The Eagles are only +5 dogs here. That is fucking insane. Over under is 50. Give me the Hawks. Give me the under.
Same page.
Damn. Well, I promise you.
Here's the opposite. Go with the last game.
Here is the opposite, indeed. The opposite of the week. I will explain myself, even though I have been very supportive. This game is the Ravens versus the Steelers. I don't think we have a line yet because it was just moved. What was it before? Do you know what it was before?
Let me see. Here's a good time to explain to the listeners. If you see a game like this postponed and everything, make sure you understand what's going down before you bet, because I feel like, I don't have a line either. So just make sure you look at the lines, make sure all the players that are in. This is also for fantasy. So on that
lines will also change throughout the week too. So we're putting this show out a little bit earlier than we have lately. So the lines likely will change to Sunday for you new gamblers. Yeah.
Yeah, especially now when I just told you it's for sure Christian McCaffrey's out. So the line for the Carolina game might change. So be careful. Watch that. On that note, this is the end of the show, baby. So follow, subscribe us.
Wait. Let's still pick this game.
What?
Ravens Steelers.
Well, I'm going to pick the Steelers no matter what. So.
And then let's say, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to set this line then. We're going to set some lines. It may not be exactly the line you got. I will say.
Hold on. I bet you.
Ravens are dogs here, +2.
No, I'm going to say 3.5. I'm going to say the Ravens are dogs 3.5. I'm going to say the over-under is 4. If the freaking Bears and the Green Bay Packers are 45, we're definitely like 47.5. And I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go ahead, and then I would hit that. I would hit the Ravens to cover. Actually, I'll hit Ravens money line. I'm going to hit Ravens money line. Only reason being is because this Steelers team has to lose. This Ravens team's not going to continue to pour down.
I will tell you what game. I'm going to tell it's the Bills or the Colts. It's going to be both those games.
I think it's this game. I think it's this week if it happens. COVID be damned here. I think they'll be fine. I think they bounce back. I still don't think the Ravens are legitimate. I still have my PSA stand strong about Lamar. But I think they lose here. Divisional rivalry, their biggest divisional rivalry. I think it's a little bit too tough for them. They're jealous that the Ravens continue to go ahead and catch up to them in Super Bowls when they've only been around for like 20 years or so. So, with that being said, I would also take the under. So there's the exact opposite for you to end the show, baby.
There you go. Well, like I was just saying, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Four Corner Studio. Please like and subscribe. Download. Leave us comments. We'd love to hear from you guys. As always, follow us and get your eyewear classwear from Eyesight, the mobile eyewear company. Stuck Up, the premier clothing line for the modern man.
Finest.
Well, you say it.
Finest fashion money can buy.
There you go. I mean, like, I don't remember. You got to text me that stuff so I know. So
I've been telling you that for the last 3 weeks. I called you.
You said it for 2 days. Anyway,
I've been saying it since Jeff started the company line. Look at my Venmos to Jeff. I've been saying it since Jeff started.
I said Premier's clothing company that
finest fashion money can buy.
Point is, follow us on all those sites, Spotify, iTunes. You know where to find us. fourcorners.studio for Last Nice Guys, Bread and Butter, Thoughtology, Face of the Franchise, Free Therapy, 5 Holers, 3 episodes of Hoopin' and Hollerin'. So who gives a shit?
Call them all, baby. Degenerates are us.
Degenerates for us is coming back, but new name coming soon, right? I think.
We'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see.
We'll leave that to you. As always,
TPA.
I'm the Pharaoh. That's Lil Joe. One love. Stay breezy. Stay easy.
Ha ha!
All right.
Cut that recording. It's still recording, dude.
I know.